In today's presentation, let us discuss polysaccharides, their classification and structure. Polysaccharides are polymers of monosaccharides. They can be homo or heteropolysaccharides depending upon whether they are built of just one type of monomeric units or more than one kind of monomers. For example, starch, cellulose and glycogen are all homopolysaccharides. Homopolysaccharides could be glucans made of glucose, fructans made of fructose, and mannans made of mannose, etc. There are also various kinds of heteropolysaccharides. Now, let us look at the classification of polysaccharides. Polysaccharides may be classified based on various criteria such as source, biological roles, structure and composition, etc. Classification based on source: seaweed source polysaccharides derived from seaweeds, plant cell wall derived polysaccharides. These may be of two types, insoluble and soluble polysaccharides, or they could be derived from plant seeds, plant tubers, plant roots. There could be microorganisms, and there is another kind of polysaccharides called derived polysaccharides, which are modified starch, CMC, carboxymethyl cellulose, propylene glycol alginate, etc. Let us look at classification based on biological roles. Storage polysaccharides. Examples include starch and glycogen. Structural polysaccharides. Cellulose and chitin are representative structural polysaccharides. Let us next look at classification based on structure. Linear polysaccharides such as amylose, cellulose, pectin, alginate, etc. Short branch polysaccharides such as guar gum, locust bean gum, xanthan gum, etc. Branch-on-branch polysaccharides. Examples include amylopectin, gum arabic, arabinoxylan, etc. Another classification is classification based on charge. Be neutral polysaccharides. Examples include starch, cellulose, and guar gum. Anionic polysaccharides: alginate, carrageenan, xelan, gum arabic, xanthan, etc. Or there could be polysaccharides which carry net positive charges, for example, chitosan. The other classification system is based on chemical composition. Based on chemical composition, polysaccharides may be broadly classified into two types: homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Common examples of homopolysaccharides are starch, glycogen, chitin, and cellulose. Examples of heteropolysaccharides include glycoaminoglycans, GAGs, and murin, etc. Homopolysaccharides can have structural, for example, cellulose and chitin, and storage, for example, glycogen and starch functions. Homo and heteropolysaccharides may also be subdivided into homoglycans, diheteroglycans, triheteroglycans, etc., depending upon whether they are made of one, two, or three different kinds of monomeric units. Now, let us look at homopolysaccharides in detail. Starch. It is a naturally occurring plant storage carbohydrate whose structural formula is C6H10O5 to N number of units, found mainly in the seeds, fruits, tubers, roots, and stem pit of plants, notably in corn, potatoes, wheat, and rice. Two polysaccharides occur together in starch: amylose chains and amylopectin chains. Amylose is an unbranched chain of D-glucose residues linked with alpha-1,4 glycosidic bonds. Amylopectin, a branched polymer containing both alpha-1,4 and alpha-1,6 glycosidic linkages. The alpha-1,6 branch points may occur every 20 to 25 glucose residues to prevent helix formation. Starch digestion begins in the mouth. Alpha amylase in the saliva initiates hydrolysis of the glycosidic linkages. Let us look at the next homopolysaccharide, cellulose. Both starch and cellulose are homopolymers of glucose. but the difference between the two types of polymers is in the type of linkages between the glucose residues. In starch, the bonds are of alpha-1,4 type, while in the latter it is of beta-1,4 glycosidic bonds. The next homopolysaccharide is chitin. Chitins are long-chain polymers of N-acetyl glucosamine, GlucNAC, a derivative of glucose. It is the main constituent of fungal cell walls and exoskeletals of arthropods and crustaceans. So chitin finds wide distribution in a wide diversity of organisms, including butterflies, beetles, crabs, lobsters, shrimp, and fungi. Now look at heteropolysaccharides in detail. Among heteropolysaccharides, one important group is glycosaminoglycans, also known as mucopolysaccharides. These are long unbranched polysaccharides consisting of a repeating disaccharide unit. The disaccharide repeat is made of an amino sugar such as N-acetyl glucosamine or N-acetyl galactosamine and an uronic acid, for example, galacturonic or iduronic acid, or galactose. Hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a polymer of disaccharide units linked by alternating beta-1,4 and beta-1,3 glycosidic bonds. The repeating disaccharide unit is usually composed of glucuronic acid and an acetyl glucosamine residues. Heparin. Heparin is a sulfated heteropolysaccharide whose repeating unit is a disaccharide made up of sulfated iduronic acid and glucosamine. The next category is dermatan sulfate. The repeat consists of iduronic acid and sulfated N-acetyl galactosamine. Chondroitin sulfate. The repeating unit consists of glucuronic acid and galactosamine. Keratan sulfate. Keratan sulfate has a disaccharide repeat made of sulfated galactose and sulfated N-acetyl glucosamine. The next category of heteropolysaccharides is proteoglycans, also known as mucoproteins. Proteins glycosylated with glycosaminoglycan groups prevalent in connective tissues. There could be another category called glycoproteins. These can be subdivided again into O-linked glycoproteins or N-linked glycoproteins. The other category of heteropolysaccharides is mucins. The next category is lipopolysaccharides. Lipopolysaccharides, which are also known as lipoglycans and endotoxins. These are large molecules consisting of a lipid and a polysaccharide. The polysaccharide portion is composed of an O antigen, an outer and inner core joined by a covalent bond. They are found in the outer membrane of gram-negative bacteria and often elicit strong immune responses in animals. A lipopolysaccharide molecule has three parts. Lipid A attaches the lipopolysaccharide to the cell membrane, is hydrophobic, and acts as the endotoxin. The next portion is core polysaccharide, middle portion of the lipopolysaccharide. It has inner and outer cores. Sugars are mainly mannose, rhamnose, galactose, and abicose. And then there is the O polysaccharide unit. This is the portion that sticks out from the surface of the bacterial pathogen. It has a repeat unit which is repeated almost 40 times. The next category is peptidoglycan, which is also known as murin, polymers consisting of sugars and amino acids found in bacterial cell walls. The next group is blood group polysaccharides. These are heterooligosaccharides which form components of cell surface markers present on human RBCs. These markers are glycoproteins which carry oligosaccharides attached to ceramide component of the glycoprotein. The terminal monomeric sugar on the oligosaccharide determines the blood group specificity as shown in the figure. Now, let us look at the levels of polysaccharide structure. Polysaccharides also exhibit different levels of structure such as primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure. The levels of structural organization in polysaccharides may be exemplified through the hierarchical structures of cellulose that forms tough cell walls of plants. Now, structure-function relationships of polysaccharides. The structural organization influences the functional roles of polysaccharides. This explains why starch and glycogen have storage functions, whereas chitin and cellulose have structural roles. Cellulose have beta-1,4 glycosidic bonds and are arranged in parallel chains of glucose polymers with very high intra and intermolecular hydrogen bonds that makes the molecule very rigid and tough. Similarly, chitin polymers are chains of beta-1,4 N-acetyl glucosamine monomers arranged in parallel or antiparallel fashion, making them also rigid and tough molecules and enabling them to act as components of tough fungal cell walls and exoskeletals of insects, crustaceans, algae, and cephalopods, for example, squids, etc. Starch and glycogen, on the other hand, are chains of glucose residues linked by alpha-1,4 and alpha-1,6 glycosidic linkages, making these molecules suitable for their energy storage roles. Similar structure-function relationships may also be observed in the case of heteropolysaccharides. Conclusion. In this presentation, we have discussed the classification and structural organization of polysaccharides. I trust that you have had a good understanding of the major kinds of polysaccharides and their main biological roles as well as their structural organization.